Hi there. So rather than fixing my K100RS that has some overfueling issues, I went ahead on eBay and bought myself a new bike. I've been looking for a little super sport because I've not tried one for a while now, but I've got two or three that I actually like the look of. First of all is obviously the ZX6R from the 90s with the birdcage around the top. The other one is the S-Rad from that same period of time, and I also like the early generation T595s. Now, because I'm me and I'm a bit cheap, I didn't want to spend over £1,000 on one of these bikes. I'm looking for something cheaper, so I went out, scrolled through eBay for a little while, and I found the cheapest ZX6R on eBay that was complete, is listed as running, but has issues. And I bought this one for £600. It came today, got delivered to me because that makes my life just a bit easier than hiring a van to go up to Chertsey and get it. And this is my ZX6R. And what I'm going to do is walk you through and I'll have a bit of a poke and see what exactly I need to do to get this back on the road and then where I'm going to go from there. As always with eBay, you kind of judge things on the pictures, and realistically from the pictures it all looked pretty much complete. It was important for me to find one of the ZX6Rs in this particular livery, and ideally, if I could, with the original plastics. This one looks to be original plastics, mostly on this side, and the tank here, you can see there's no real issues. Old age marks, nicks here and there. However, I am missing a fairing mount here. You can see where the screws have been over tightened and the stickers have twisted. Some scuff marks from time over there as well. But most importantly, the indicator on this side is not connected and has issues, so I'm going to have to get that addressed. There is also this scuff mark here. Up top here, you will see there's a bit of tape, and that's because this section here is cracked, which I'll have to deal with at some point. But it's got a nice little fancy carbon exhaust that I'll have to play with. Carbon rear fender. Looks like this is aftermarketly painted, judging by the look of it. Probably something I would have done myself. But the rear brake does work. The heel guard all looks relatively unscuffed. The subframe looks pretty good. The actual mainframe has no cracks or damage that I can see so far. There's a few nicks here and there in the fairings. Overall, I'm quite pleased with this side of the bike. Again, there's a missing bolt here. It's all minorly just kind of missing little bits there and there, at least on this side. On the rear, we do have what I can only describe as a hideous green cover that's been put on the rear seat. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's got to go. Again, aftermarket indicators, which I'm hoping are going to work. We'll have to go through that. And a tiny, ill-conceived number that again has to be sorted. The rear tyre doesn't look too bad. There are some dinks in it from stones, and there's a little bit of cracking where I think it's getting age-related. I'm hoping that'll pass an MOT and I can use it for a little while. Also on the back here, this handle is ever so slightly wobbly versus this one that's rock solid. So I'll have to investigate that. On this side, there's a few more issues. The paint has flaked off on the foot peg rather than actually come off. The rear hugger here has a little bit of a ding in the carbon fibre. But the chain, I've had a little look through, looks pretty solid. It all looks relatively clean. The sprocket looks relatively new. There's no toothing on it. That all looks good. The shock looks nice and clean. Doesn't seem to be any rust or issues there. Swing arm again looks quite clean and no kind of cracking that I can see. Few scuff marks, not a big issue. However, the rear castle nut is missing a split pin. It's not a great sign. And I've got to get some bobbins to put on there just to make my life a bit easier. The issue on the rear end up here, again, comes with missing bolt, minorly annoying, and also the seat clasp mounting point isn't secure from there, so you can access the main seat without having to remove the pillion seat, so that's a problem that needs sorting. On this side is the big problem that I could see from the photos, which was this tank. I've been told that this is from where it was rubbing up against another bike while in storage, and there wasn't a good layer in between them. It doesn't look too badly like it's been down. It does look very light, very kind of up this side, rather than from somewhere it's crashed down on the side. So it does look like something was rubbing up against it in various ways while it was in storage or transit. So I'll keep an eye out for a better tank, but I'll have to address something to stop the rust issues coming through there. There is a little bit of a nick on the bar end, but again, doesn't look like it's been down, more like something rubbed up against it. Small nicks in the paint in the frame, nothing to really worry about. There's no dents, no damage. That all looks quite good. Fuel tap does turn, which is quite nice. One of the things I have noticed is the fuel cap here is very stiff to open, and I only have one key, so that needs a bit of lubrication and love, so that'll be on my list. This side of the fairing, again, all looks pretty complete. There is a piece of tape again stuck over here, but this I think is just to match the other side so it doesn't look too odd, which is quite nice. Again, no real damage there, a little bit of scuffs from over time. This side does have all the complete fairing bolts, which is quite nice, and the inlet tubes all look to be in good condition. Again, the indicators here are just tired. The spacers are all broken and the padding is all broken, so all of that needs to be addressed. So on the front here, the actual discs look pretty good. There is a little bit of life left in the pads, and there is nothing coming through on the fork seal, so I'm pretty happy with that. The light lens looks to be marked correctly, everything looks fine, the bulbs look good. So on the front, I'm not as concerned. The tyre looks to be much newer than the rear. There's no real cracking per se. There's a little bit here and there. So at some point I would like to get myself some new tyres. But again, I'd like to replace these indicators because they look like they are nicely at fault now. If we're on the subject of things I'd like to replace, this double bubble screen I'm not a huge fan of, as are these aftermarket levers, but they are there, and I'm not going to touch any of this until I get it all sorted and MOT'd. So that's a quick walk around of the things I've visibly seen. Now, some things I haven't been able to check. Number one of which is the electrics. This has no battery in it, so all I can do now is go on the internet and spend 25 quid to buy a new battery and then see if it is true that everything does start and ride. I have moved it and rolled it around, and I have found that the gear change does work. The front brake works, the rear brake works. The front brake pads, however, are a bit thin. They could do with replacing this. A lot of meat on the rear pads. I'm not too worried about that. I think to get this through an MOT though, I'm only going to need a few items. There's some massive assumptions going to come out now about the actual state of the electrical system, but assuming all the electrics work, and it does start as and when I've been told, I think realistically I need £25 for a new battery, new set of indicators all round that I'll buy some cheapy bulb ones for 10-15 quid, a new license plate that's road legal for another 15 quid, and I think that will make me road legal, provided that the tyres are kosher. I think they're good enough for a little while, but then again, you never know. Now, all of that would mean I can get it on the road, get it road legal, and start using it around. It's not everything that needs to be done. It does going to need a full service. It will need new front disc pads, rather. But all the mirrors seem to work. Everything seems, there. If it does start up when I put a new battery in it, and I can sort out the indicators for the price of £15 to put them in place, I'm laughing. Nice plate. Means I can be on the road for under 600 quid, 650, 675 I'd say, plus the MOT cost. I'd be on the road for 700 quid and with a running and riding bike. Lots of things I'd like to do, and I'll probably go into those as time goes on. But for now, my first job is battery, get that ordered, get the indicators ordered, see what happens when I put electric through it. If I'm all good and everything is set there, I'll just see how I get on. I'll take it through for its first MOT, I'll change as little as possible and just get it running and riding and road legal. But that's it for now. This is my new bike. As I say, it's the cheapest ZX6R I could find, at least in the UK and on eBay. I'm sure there were better deals out there as like frame non-runners that were in a better state or somewhere else I didn't see, like on the forums. But for me, ease of finding, getting it delivered, 600 quid, job done. I'm really happy. that's it for now. I'll try and get my brick started up again at some point, because that really needs to go, because I can't justify having 3 bikes. So for now, thanks very much, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.